A group of soldiers is huddling in front of a grave amid a soggy field, as they mourn the loss of their comrade. A lone boy called Ray stands in front of the grave and reflects on the conflict. Ray sees Havard, the man in the grave, in his recollections. They exploded in front of him, splattering blood all over him. A wounded Ray sees another companion, a blonde-haired girl, lying in a bloody pool. Ray screams with such force that a massive dome of ice and frost forms around him as he assesses the battleground and his companions outside. Observe and marvel. In a scene change, Ray carries the girl's corpse after the ice stone vanishes. Ray recently registered and started classes at the Academy of Sork. Returns with the other pupil through the majestic gates. A girl unexpectedly bumps into Ray, but Ray manages to contain her before she tumbles. The girl's friends laugh at her predicament as she goes red in the face. In response to Ray's apology, shyly chastises him for blocking the road. The ladies were shocked when Ray revealed that he was a new student. They have been told there is only one new student, and he is not from a noble household. A new student, Nora, is said to be from a typical home. She belongs to the sorcerer's family. Ray would then be that pupil, then. The ladies are disgusted to learn that he is an ordinary person, and passers-by, who overhear them, start speculating about him. Ray is approached by a man who identifies himself as Albert Allium. Ray White kindly identifies himself as Rhea and extends a handshake in greeting. The school is only for aristocrats, or at the very least, those born in a sort of his. Albert merely slaps his hand away and informs him. He claims that Ray is ordinary and that the school is not for him. Ray overlooks Albert, which enrages him. He attempts to grab Ray, but Ray dodges him calmly. An abrupt interruption from a red-haired female stops Albert from punching Ray again. Given that the lady comes from one of the 3 elite families, Albert is surprised. Albert looks at Ray disgustedly and declares that he will never tolerate him. He then walks away from the brunette and approaches Ray, introducing herself as Amelia Rose and asking him if he's all right. Ray extends his gratitude to Amelia and shakes her hand. Ray receives praise from Amelia for becoming the first regular student in their school, and she assures him that he can always turn to her for assistance. The Academy's entrance ceremony eventually began after the eventful morning. The Ardled Academy of Circe's principal, Abby Garnett, addresses the pupils and introduces herself. She informs them that the school has acknowledged their sorcerer skills. However, they should continue putting much effort into improving as SORs. The first-year student's representative is summoned to speak after the principal concludes. In front of the cheering audience, it turns out to be Amelia Rose herself. Amelia Rouse encourages her classmates to persevere through the challenges they will encounter. Following the ritual, Ray enters his classroom in front of the class. The class's response, however, still needed to be solved. While some of them happily welcomed Tim, others began speculating about how a commoner like him had come to enroll in the academy. The instructor identifies herself as Grady, Ms. Grady, or Helena, and commands Ray to take a seat. Ray is greeted by Amelia once more, shocking the other pupils. They find it hard to imagine that Ray is being spoken to by someone from one of the 3 elite families. Ray takes a seat and wanders his eyes around the metropolis outside. His wartime recollections suddenly come flooding back. Chalk hurls itself in Ray's direction, causing him to stop what he is doing. Ray firmly grasps the chalk in his hands, but it suddenly bursts, drenching him in white. This Gray tossed chalk in his direction because he wasn't paying attention in class. Ray is embarrassed by his peers' laughter and says he was preoccupied in class. Ray has started to pay attention, so Ms. Gray proceeds. She calls Amelia and requests an explanation of the various sorcerer levels. Amelia counts the 5 stories from lowest to HIAS in a standing ovation. Bronze, silver, and gold are the colors. The holy rank grand and apply. And Ms. Gray clarifies that there are always only 7 great sorcerers. They are regarded as the world's 7 greatest sorcerers because they are the top 7 sorcerers in the world. The names of the 7 sorcerers are typically a mystery, Ms. Gray continues. However, some have already revealed who they are in public. First, Abby Garnett, the head of the school where they are currently enrolled, used her firepower to disclose the identity of the Grand Sorcerers. She's referred to as the Fiery Sorceress. Carol Caroline is the next known great sorceress after her, who is more mourning-oriented. They arrive after hearing a loud shriek from a distance. He immediately recognizes the threat posed to Albert's squad by a monster. He stabs the creature. Amelia wonders who he is, given how effortlessly he dispatched this monster. The beast suddenly comes to life and changes into a more vicious shape as a shadow in the woods tosses something at it. Ray, however, keeps his fighting posture. AV and Eliza are completely taken aback after seeing the creature die and rise again. The other pupils around them start to scream in terror as the monster lets out a roar. While contemplating a cruel method to dispatch this giant beast, Ray, on the other hand, is standing in front of the monster. Clarice and her group are moving deeper into the jungle as this is happening. She slips away from her team and investigates the monster's roar when she hears it because she's curious about what it is. When she sees the giant monster, she acknowledges that she's never seen anything like it. Ray is currently focused on battling the beast. He leaps into the air in an attempt to hit the creature, but in vain. He knows the monster's strength due to its current defensive posture. Ray mulls over using his secret ability just once. Amelia uses her ability to create a firewall that separates him from the monster just as he is about to do it. She then gives AV the go-ahead to toss after receiving the signal. Fortunately, and with the monster destabilized, the team screamed for Ray to finish him right away, giving Eliza the ideal opportunity to demonstrate her power by directing the rock to the monster with the wind. Before the beast can be split in two, Ray sprints and stabs it. After seeing this, LM is shocked. However, the squad is thrilled that they could execute such an attack. Eliza's delight is expressed as a shock, unlike AV, who joyfully grabs Ray to show his happiness. She tells Amelia she is so frightened as she gives her a tight hug. Amelia praises Eliza for her diligence. In the meantime, he was attempting to save his companions from the monster. His supporters question Alim regarding Ray's strength, but rather than explaining, he seems more furious about being asked the question. As much as he attempts to deny it, Ray is quite strong, as Clarice discovers as she tries to organize her thoughts. The shadowy figure that had revived the beast vanishes into nothingness. On the plus side, this gives the Ray's squad their final stamp. Now that their task is complete, the team thanks each member individually. In his, Ray regrets Amelia and Eliza for forcing them to keep up with him and Av's tempo. Ray's team is declared the victor after the skill practicing training. Clarice enthusiastically claps after hearing this. Her joy is short-lived by her squad's hostile attitude toward the victorious team. In contrast, folks are not shocked that the team won because they had A. Thanks for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more exciting content.